Welcome to my first video here on YouTube. My name's Graham Phillips, and today's topic is abortion, and in particular abortion here in the United Kingdom. I'm going to be sharing with you 10 facts about abortion here. Hopefully this is going to help you to crystallize your thinking on what is a really challenging topic to engage in. So fact number one: since abortion became legal here in the United Kingdom, there have been no fewer than 9 million abortions. That's 9 times the population of Birmingham. Let that sink in. That's a lot. Fact number two: last year in 2018, we saw the highest number of abortions on record here in the United Kingdom, some 205,295 in all, and that represents a 4% increase on 2017. Fact number three, this is one that really galls me. 1 in 5 pregnancies last year ended in abortion. That's an incredible statistic that really helps you to get your understanding straight on quite how many women are accessing the abortion service here in this country. Fact number four: 97.7% of all of these abortions, so that's the vast majority of them, were carried out on what is known as ground C. Now, this is the ground that says that the pregnancy hasn't exceeded its 24th week and that the continuance of this pregnancy would involve a risk. And that risk is a risk that's greater than if the pregnancy carried through till full term of a particular injury to either the physical or mental health of the pregnant woman in question. So that's nearly all of the abortions that took place in the United Kingdom last year were carried out on this ground. And nearly 100% of all of those abortions were carried out because of a perceived risk to the woman's mental health. Now, that could be something like that the mother didn't feel ready. She didn't feel ready to have the child, and therefore it was deemed that should she have the baby, she would be at a higher risk of mental health issues. So that's what we're talking about in the vast majority of cases here in the United Kingdom when we talk about abortion, is that it's women who don't feel ready to have that child and therefore feel that their mental health would be at risk should they have the baby. That's what we're talking about in nearly all of the abortion cases in this nation. The next statistic I wanted to share with you is that often the case for abortion is made on one of the two following grounds. So either that the abortion is carried out to actually save the life of the pregnant woman in question, or that the abortion needs to take place because of a grave permanent injury or risk of a grave permanent injury to the physical or mental health of the pregnant woman. Now, in the past 5 years in this country, only 28 such abortions have taken place. And in fact, in 2017, just five abortions took place on those combined grounds. So when we're talking about abortion, we are not talking about women who are in danger of losing their life if they were to have that baby. We are not talking about women, by and large, who are at genuine risk, either physically or mentally, were they to carry that baby to full term. That is not what we're talking about. There have been only 28 such abortions in the past 5 years. Our next statistic is this: that 81% of all abortions in 2018 were carried out on single women. Now, this for me just points to the fact that the Judeo-Christian idea of marriage is the best way for us to raise children in this society. If we want to protect the young, if we want to build a society that is grounded on solid values and builds towards the future, then marriage is the best way to ensure that. Also, 39% of all abortions in 2018 were actually for women who had had 1 or more abortions previously, and this figure has increased year on year for the past decade. So we're not talking about women who are accessing most often this service for the first time. A vast and a significant proportion of these abortions are actually for women who have accessed this service of abortion at least once, maybe twice before, and this figure grows every year. Only 0.6 of all these abortions were for people under the age of 16. So when we talk about abortion, we are not talking, by and large, about girls under the age of 16 who have nowhere to go, that they're in serious risk. Only 0.6 of all these abortions were for girls under the age of 16. And also only 1.6 of all of these abortions in 2018 were because of fetal abnormalities. So these could be genetic abnormalities, syndromes such as Down syndrome rather. We're talking about a real small minority of abortions when we talk about that particular issue. So when we talk about abortion, we've got to frame this conversation with reference to the facts, and the facts say that 98% of all abortions are carried out simply because the pregnant mother, and a mother she is carrying a human life, and she is deciding to abort that human life or terminate that life because she doesn't feel ready. That's what we're talking about when we talk about abortion. We are not talking about women whose lives are at risk should they carry that baby to full term. We are not talking about women who are at serious risk of incurring mental health issues were they to carry that baby to full term. And we are not, by and large, talking about under 16s who are extremely vulnerable and don't know any better. In fact, the average age for people accessing abortions falls somewhere between 21 and 25. So there you have it. Those are the facts. And my hope is that when we talk about abortion here in the UK, we are framing that discussion with reference to the facts rather than hyperbole.